This HD Lace Curly unit is summertime and vacation hair approved. Y'all see how it's looking? Yes, like you need to get into this video, so stay tuned. Okay, so my bad, y'all. I thought I was going to do the ball cap off camera and then come to y'all with the ball cap already done. But then I was like, yeah, let me show the whole process, or at least most of it. So if you want to see how I do full ball caps, please catch any of my human hair tutorials that I've done recently. I've been doing ball caps in them. So the reason I'm putting on an elastic band after I've done the beginning process of the ball cap is just to help it push it down more and, you know, kind of push it into my skin just a little more. And then I dry it fully with the elastic band on. I do have my blow dryer on cool. I have noticed between using cool and using hot that cool doesn't give me that, you know, that extra like residue cast that I was getting on my other bald caps. It's not the end of the world if you get it, but I noticed on cool I don't get it, and then when I use it on hot I do get it. So it just depends on how particular you are about your bald cap. It does not get in my way if I use it on hot under my, you know, once I put my wig on and all that. So after that's all set and dry, I then cut off the excess cap and I try to get as close to my hairline as I possibly can. This is particular for those of us with small foreheads because we don't have a lot of space to work with. So you gotta, you know, reserve all the space you can. So I try to get that as close to my hairline without cutting my hair as possible. If you have a larger forehead, this is not something you have to be as particular about. It all depends on where you like your wigs to sit. And I like mine to sit kind of right near my hairline because if I pull it too far, then it looks weird. Once all the lace is cut off, now I'm going in with some foundation that matches my skin tone to darken the cap and make it look like my scalp. Just a little tip, start further back with your foundation. That way when you bring it forward, there's less product on it, which means less, you know, caked up product on your hairline. And now we're bald and ready to go. So this is the unit. It's a 13x4 HD lace curly unit from Nadula Hair. Y'all, this wig is so pretty. It's gonna be perfect for summer, perfect for vacations. This might be my vacation wig because I'm leaving in June, y'all. So I've been looking like through the units that have been coming in, like which one's gonna be the one I take on vacation. I feel like Top Model when they're like, I have only one photo in my hands. Which one of you is gonna be my vacation wig? This unit does involve customization. I did bleach the knots off camera and now I am plucking the unit on camera for you guys. It does have a very dense and full hairline, so I do highly recommend that if you wear this unit that you pluck it out some so it looks more natural. Also, I did want to mention along with the specs that this is a 24-inch unit. Now, when you're plucking, you want to make sure not to stay in the same area too long. And also, I like to pluck at a slanted angle because that's like the direction that the hair comes out at. I like to follow that instead of trying to go straight back. And I feel like that gives me a really good natural result when I do that. Also, if you see I pulled the hair, basically the baby hairs to the front, and that is because I want to pluck that last because I don't want a chance over plucking. I've noticed in the moments where I feel like I've over plucked the front a little bit, it's because I plucked at the front first instead of last because it's so thin, you know, you can just easily over pluck it. So it's better to go back and just pluck the front very last. I also pluck about, I would say 2 rows back for me, but it depends on how far up you wear your wigs. Because I don't pull my wigs that far up, I don't need to pluck that far back. And here is the plucked out side versus the unplucked side, so you can see how much of a difference it makes. Moving along in our customization process, I am using my lace tint, the Don't Touch My Hair one, and I'm also sealing that in using some hairspray, and then I blow dry it dry with the heat, not the cool. I use the heat for this part, and it makes it dry in like literally 2 seconds. I love this stuff so much, y'all. I didn't like lace tints before I tried like a watery based lace tint. It's a game changer. Before we get to installing anything, we gotta make sure that this wig actually fits on my head. I always, shift it around. Y'all see my videos. I always be shifting the wig around, seeing how I want it to fit, where everything's gonna sit in order to cover my entire hairline. Usually I have trouble with the sides if a unit is kind of small, and I was having that trouble with this one. When I situate it on my forehead where I want it, the edges just don't come up far enough on the side without me having to pull it like near my eyebrows, and that's just not a sight we want to see. So I start working on that, and I've been using my new technique. If you saw in one of my recent human hair videos that I did, where I cut the wig behind the ear in order to give me more stretch to pull it past my edges. But as I was cutting this way, I swiftly realized, why don't you, take it off your head and put it on the mannequin head? Because when I'm trying to do it like this, I truly can't see. I'm feeling around and I really can't see what I'm doing. And I kind of cut into the hair a little bit, and that's what we don't want. And you don't have to do it like that. So as you see, I put it on my mannequin head, and then I kind of made that part a lot cleaner so I could go right in between those tracks and give myself some more room. Okay, so now that I've given myself some more stretch, we are ready to go to start working on installing this unit. The fit, now that I've cut it, is a whole lot more comfortable, and I can pull it past my hairline a lot easier. I did peep that just a little bit more of the cap needed to go, so you just see me trimming that up a little bit more there. This is again, customization, so you got to fit all of this to how your hairline is and how you want your wig to look. Maybe you need more work than me, less work than me. I don't know. It just depends on your head. So for this install, my products I'm going to be using are the Don't Touch My Hair Clear Gel in Pineapple Scent. And then I'm also going to use some freeze spray as well. You'll see that later on. But I'm starting out using the Clear Gel. I really like their Clear Gel because it has a really nice hold to it. My problem with the Got To Be Clear one is I feel like it didn't have a great hold to it. But this one, I like the hold a lot, actually. I really like it. Also wanted to make sure that the edges of my wig cap were pushed down and rolled down as much as possible to make it look like a seamless bald cap. And then you see me using the freeze spray. Do not get it right on your cap or it will start to pull your cap up because it's wet. I try to get it right on my skin in front of that. Try to be very controlled when you do this, but it does help with the hold. I've been really into just applying my wigs as a whole lately, and maybe coming back to work on the sides more so than anything. And that is a lot quicker and faster. That is the same thing. I don't know why I needed to say both, but you see what I'm trying to say here. It's a lot easier that way. However, I do feel if you're new to lace frontals, you might want to still apply your wig in sections with the lace because it is more controlled and it gives you a chance to work in small areas until you get comfortable. So it just depends on your level and what you feel comfortable with, but this is definitely quicker. So I think I should have probably used a little bit more of the clear gel before I installed the wig, but that's neither here nor there now. So I'm going over it with some hairspray, the freeze spray there, and just going over my hairline to give it a little bit more hold. And then I'm drying it right then and there on the spot, fully dry before I cut the lace off. And I'm using heat for this. You can use cool or heat, but I prefer heat because it goes a little bit faster. After it is all dry, we are ready to cut off that lace. Remember, cut jagged, up and down motion. You don't want to cut straight across, or that is a dead giveaway that you have on a wig. Also, make sure you're cutting off all the excess lace too. Don't leave them little extra pieces there after you finish cutting. That's another dead giveaway that you are wearing a wig and we did not come this far for people to be able to clock the lace, okay? So do what you gotta do. I know all these steps can seem kind of tedious, and it is the first go around when you're first installing a wig. It's not so bad once all the customization is done because you won't have as much work. But I will say, when you put in the work, you get the result. That wig will look laid. It will look good when you do all the foundation work that comes with it. When you skip steps, you look like you skip steps. And when you do all the steps, you look like you did all the steps. So after all the lace is cut off, I'm going in with a wet rag and I'm just wiping up any excess residue on my hairline. So that way we have a good clean install. Just for me to go over it again with some more freeze spray. Listen, I gotta lay the front edge of the wig back down. We cannot leave it hanging, but you want to use too much product and try not to get it too much directly on your skin, because that is what we just cleaned up. Then after that, that's when I put on my elastic band and we get the extreme into your skin. What wig is this meltdown? And then I also blow dried it. You can air dry it while you style if you want to, or just leave it on for a while. Maybe you need to make lunch or something and leave it on for that time period. But I was ready to go, so I use my blow dryer to just go ahead and get it dry real quick. I have it on heat, not cool. All right, now that all the groundwork is laid, we are ready to style. I chose to go with the curved side part for this because I feel like the last unit's similar to this. I did a middle part, but I am going to do more of a wet look with this one because I feel like the last unit that I did similar to this one in a side part was big hair. So I'm still trying to give y'all variety and all that. So I started out using my hot comb, to help me set the hair in place and set my part and all of that. But then I realized you need a wax stick, ma'am, especially with big curly hair, because it's got a mind of its own. So I pulled out my wax stick. There is no particular wax stick that you need. Just grab any wax stick. And I'm using that to help me set the hair and help just help me flat iron it. The wax stick and the flat iron are like best friends when it comes to setting your wig in place. Okay, so it just dawned on me that I've been saying flat iron when I clearly meant hot comb. Y'all see what's in my hand. Y'all know what it is. This hair is turning out so good, and that HD lace is on point. Like, it's looking very much like scalp over here. I'm using the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Curl Cream that I've had for the longest on this hair to give it that wet look. And I'm also using a spray bottle to also get it wet. And I am going through in sections, pretty medium to big sections all over this hair. And that is how I'm going to apply all the products and get that, watered down, wet, juicy curl look. The process is pretty repetitive, so I am going to show you guys for detail how I do this whole first side, and then I'll come back when it's all completed with the other side. Yo, I did not realize just how stern and concentrated my face looked at this time. I was really concentrating whenever I was watching, y'all. So it's not me hating the process. I'm just very focused right now. Alright, so after that, I'm going to add some baby hair. Very light, wispy, not a whole lot of baby hair. Y'all know how I do if you watch my videos. I don't do a whole lot with that. I like to keep it pretty natural. You don't have to add baby hair if you don't want to. This hairline is a good no baby hair hairline, so you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But I wanted to add just a little bit, especially with it being a curly wig. I like having a little bit of baby hair with those. So if I had been thinking, the smarter thing to do would have been to pull these hairs out and then put my elastic band on to help them just basically help to set them go forward so that they would be ready when we're ready to do the baby hair. But the hot comb also helps with that as well, and it helps to straighten out the hair so it'll obey me better. When it's curly, it kind of likes to do its own thing. Even at the roots with this, I had a little trouble with it because it wanted to revert and do its own thing. But the hot comb, when it's straight, does make it a lot easier. So now all I'm doing is just playing around with the baby hairs and getting them how I want them and all that good stuff. What you'll see with this, though, is that I did run into a bit of a snag. The setting foam that I used kind of pulled up my wig on the side a little bit where I needed the swoop to go into the hair. So you'll see how I maneuvered through that and just try to keep my wig from coming up while also trying to fix the baby hair and everything. I ran a little setting foam through the hair because it was starting to dry and I didn't want it to get too big and undefined before I finished this video because that would defeat the purpose. Took a little bit of setting powder and put it in the part to brighten that up and just, you know, make it pop. But here's where mistakes were made. I tried to use that little hairspray trick to make that part real crisp. Y'all, you see what I did. I just totally messed up the part. So now I'm going back over it with some setting powder again. And I'm basically fixing that mistake. I'm gonna try it again. But y'all, I was like, dang, I was almost done. And then I just ruined the part like that. It's not as easy as it looks, apparently. I was nervous too, y'all. I was like, what if I can't get this off without taking the whole wig off and washing it? I'm gonna be sick. But it worked out. Like y'all can see, I covered it. And this is the final result of this 13x4 HG lace 24-inch curly unit from Nadula hair. Y'all, this came out so bomb. The hairline looks amazing. The density looks great and everything. Perfect vacation hair, perfect summertime hair. I'm just loving it. If you're interested, details be down in the description box. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.